Hello, this is Homeschool Christian Mom Elizabeth Estel, and we're going to be stirring up some fun today with our drill press here. No, doing an art project, acrylic on canvas. And so I'm just letting you look at this for a moment more. You can always pause to see the details on this. But this is a canvas. I think it's a 10 by 10 square canvas. And I'm using Tacky the Penguin as my subject today. This is one of the Tacky the Penguin books. So the illustrations are by Lynn Munsinger. And I'm just doing one original painting from this. So I'm not violating any copyright laws. And I'm doing this for my granddaughter who thinks that Tacky and his fish sandwich are hilarious. So the first thing I did with this canvas was paint the whole thing white, even right down to the edges. And then I needed to transfer my picture. So I had tracing paper, and I made a copy of Tacky and the little bit of background I wanted. Then I turned the tracing paper over and I scribbled with the soft pencil, which is the kind most of us usually have at home, on the back of all those lines. Then I took the tracing paper and I put it right over the canvas. And then I took a blue colored pencil and I went over all the lines again, which gave me a very light pencil line on my canvas. And by using the blue colored pencil, I could see where I had already marked on the picture. Because after a while, you think, oh, did I do this line yet? Or did I do that line? But by using a colored pencil, you make sure you got all the lines. So then I had a very light colored line, and I think you can probably see that best now in the sandwich there, how light the lines were. And then just by eye, I could fill in where I needed to with any lines that were missing. So I got my basic drawing on the canvas where I wanted it. So I have even space on both sides and the top, and then a little extra space on the bottom, and that just helps the picture from looking like it's going to fall off. You want it just a little bit higher on your canvas than right dead center. So I have acrylic paints here, water, a plate for paints and brushes, and I mixed the acrylics with extra water and did sort of like a wash for the background. So the sky, the blue and purple of the ice, and a little green in here, and then the blue here. And so it was almost like watercolor. Well, watercolor is pigment and water, and acrylic starts out liquid and then turns to a plastic. So I did that on purpose so this painting would hold up in case little hands were on it, since it's for a small child. But I do recommend wearing an apron when you do a project like this. Now, if you get the acrylic on your sleeve and it's still wet, you can wash it out really quickly. But once it's dried, since it's plastic, it's probably impossible to get out. So just remember that an apron is a good thing. So you want to have some soft brushes. These are watercolor brushes, and I have this little teeny tiny one that I'm going to do the lines with. And I just have a plastic plate that I'm going to put the acrylics on, and these are already dried, so I could put another color right on top of these and it wouldn't bleed through. Just a disposable plate, and there's a variety of companies that have acrylics. I usually get the 2-ounce size bottles, my water, and as you can see, I have a lot more brushes I could use if I needed, because I love art projects. So then I start with the lightest colors and I'm moving to the darkest. Now, what happens if you make a mistake? Well, you can dip your brush in water really quickly, dilute it down, and blot it up with a Kleenex, and that will help erase a lot of mistakes. But basically, you don't want to be making mistakes. You have your color mixed on your plate and you're putting it down right where you want it. So I started with the yellow of the daisies, the orange, then the green leaves. And then I changed to the orange of the beak and the little pink mouth. And then the purple bow tie there. And then I've started with the black And I might have to come in with a little bit of a lighter gray over that. I haven't decided yet. And then with my little tiny brush, I'm adding in some lines there. So what age project is this good for? It's good for 5th grade and up, I would say. If you have a child that is going to be careless or messy, if you have a child that's messy or will splatter paint, you might want to save this project for later. But most 5th grade and up could do this project and be successful at it. Now, I did Tacky's colors almost exactly like the book, but I was thinking maybe I should have done the bow tie pink, because I'm doing it for a granddaughter who loves pink. So you don't have to stick with exactly the colors, but this is going to be a great project because as they get older, I'm going to do different book characters, and they'll have a whole display of the books they've liked from young age to older ages. So it's going to be a nice project for not just this year, but for years to come. And your grandchildren will let you know which pictures they like or don't like. If you want to surprise them, read some books with them one day and you'll see which book they like to have read to them again and again and again. I'm going to be doing more art projects on this Homeschool Christian Mom group. So if you know someone who needs art project ideas, please send them over here. And I wouldn't mind at all if you shared this with other people, because sometimes we just need an idea to get started, and you might say, oh, this will be great, I have just the project for it, but you just weren't sure about getting